Trading activities on the Nigerian Exchange Limited closed on a bullish sentiment as UPDC Real Estate Investment, MRS Oil and 19 others maintained growth momentum to halt a day negative performance. Absolutely, as a result, the year-to-date return rose to 2.83%, while market capitalization value inched weight to 192 billion naira to close at 28.701 trillion naira from 28.512 trillion naira it closed for previous trading day. The NGX All Share Index rose by 352.49 basis points or 0.67% to close at 52,701.31 index points. As measured by market breadth, the market sentiment as measured by market breadth closed positive as UPDC Real Estate Investment led 21 stocks on the gainers table, while UPDC led 15 stocks on the laggards log. Sterling Bank led the volume chart with 76.74 million units traded, while Girigu Power led the value chart in deals worth 1.43 billion naira. The trade volume increased a bit by 2.9% to 228,487,278 shares worth 4.443 billion naira, which exchanged hands in 3,681 deals. To make sense of this, I'm joined by Ambrose Amodio, the Chief Research Officer at Invest Data Consulting. He's right here with me in the studio. Good to have you join us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, Papa.
All right, so let's have your thoughts on the market's posture yesterday.
I remember on Monday when we were here, I told you that the market has formed what we call a double top. That is back to pull back, and market pull back on Monday. People took profit, but yesterday we now saw a breakout of that strong resistance level moving around the 52,701.31. It tells you that investor took advantage of that pullback, because I tell you that in equity market, buying low and selling high is the mantra. That means when they saw price of stock pulling back on Monday, on Tuesday, people jump into some good positions, especially as we are coming closer to earnings season. And don't forget that we just saw the inflation figure for the month of December on Monday, and then it started digesting this number again, and that yesterday, even till now. There is a sign that has been given globally. I think that inflation is cooling down gradually. It tells you that the aggressiveness of these central banks of the world will reduce in terms of rate hike, and which I believe that MPC will follow suit, and that will be the first for the year. And don't forget also, look at, like I said again, if the yield environment and rate environment for the fixed income market has already started coming down, and people are alluding that because our budget is on high deficit, that the domestic market will be flooded with government coming to raise funds. Yeah. This government also, they should know that if they overcrowd the market, it won't be a plus to the economy. And don't forget also, they have just only 4 months to stay for another government to come with another policy.
Well, even if another government comes in, how will they get the monies they need to fund the deficit?
Good. The government that is coming, as I said, even not going to different states to go and dance is what matters now for the presidential candidates of different parties. Is to start putting your team on ground, start looking at way to work we can come out with this, and also we must work with the two must work, the physical and the monetary must work together going to the future. But as we speak now, even though I heard people saying that the current government want to kind of change the economy in the next 4 months before they go, I said that one is just a story to just Papa Nigeria to just keep looking. But I believe that the good thing is that now that we are seeing that the for 2023 budget is on the high side, if they want to come to the market, one thing is good at doing now, say, look at the National Assembly, trying to look at the means and way, trying to look at it and trying to come up with something positive with it. If that is done, they're able to structure it. I'll tell you, the government would like to dance to that way of business, because if you come to the market and start raising money and with a high interest rate, naturally the private sectors, that the engine of any economy, will stay by the back seat, because they can't afford to pay what you are paying to the public to compete. Yes, they don't afford to pay for that. They stay at the back. That is also will affect the economy. Now that inflation is slowed down for the first time in 11 months in terms of year on year. But if you look at month to month, we're still seeing inflation looking up in terms of food prices, because the last month of the year was the most the peak of first period. At the same time, I told you that energy price has increased that month. That means for me, if that starts seeing a good inflation, or let me say a stable one from January, because January people pocket is not as full as what it is in December, consumption naturally will slow down because people are not going to the market as as normal. In December, everybody want to buy because they want to celebrate. Now everybody now can come back to their home and see like, well, can manage what to have. That means that turnover in terms of activities will reduce in this January. But so February, we can start seeing picking up. Also, but if the way the tone or the level the Ukraine war is also going, if tomorrow whether Russia said, oh, we don't want to release our food again to the war, let's look, we see inflation will also come back. That means this year 2023 will come with a lot of activity for me. Investors should all be very active. That's why I said you must understand how to read psychology and sentiments of people in the market, so that at the end of the day, as they're changing their decision, you also know. But if you're looking at fundamental alone, the economy is recovering, it's still in a positive GDP. You will be following like every day. You get it back. But people that are seeing the sentiment of the people, the psychology, also taking advantage. Like when market pulled back on Monday, people were calling me, is it profit taking? I say, yeah, it's profit taking. It's expected that market cannot rally for almost 9 weeks. And people would still be, it's just like you don't know what you need to cash out some money, profit. When it's your opportunity to buy, you buy again. That means this trend of up and down recovery will continue in the first quarter, despite the election coming closer and closer. I believe that because we understand what is, like I told you last time, that the structure of the market also supported, and also the regulation and activities also have supported the market in this direction. For me, there's no cause for alarm, but I believe that this trend will continue because I said that the high cap stocks have no move. We saw Airtel moving yesterday. Yeah, Airtel just moved yesterday. So where the market is, if that Nestle or Boa or MTN move today again, market hitting 54,000 mark in less than in the before Friday is possible, because if that is to go up to almost 300 naira today, that's the thing. Market hit 40. That means investors should look at where am I getting good dividend yield at this time, because prices are already moving up, but some are yet to move. The banking sector that usher in this recovery is still very, very attractive, because most companies that has a 2-digit yield. For me, the market is still very, very good for investors. But like I said, don't fall in love with the market. As market go up, always take your profit. If you pull back, buy into a down market. That is the strategy.
Absolutely. Very quickly, I'd like you to talk about Sterling Bank leading the volume chart, and we also have Geregu leading the value chart. Just very quickly before we look at the chart.
For me, Sterling Bank, it has been in the news for almost more than 3 months now. Yes, they're trying to go into a holding company. I think that most, the banking sector, because after their, universal license at reverse, they moved to only banking activities. And directly, banks are having a holding company now, going back to that universal. It's for good for the bank, because the banks also want to impart their bottom line. But I think that bank doing only the banking activities is not enough for them to pay. And you know what is happening, technology and other things. If you are in technology, backing you at, but for me, it's a good one. Having a conglomerate of company has the way of supporting bottom line. That is where Sterling Bank is heading. And also for me, they have 2 licenses already. They have license for what? For commercial bank and also for non-interest. This also will be a plus for them. That means they are in this side of banking. But if they do it well, that's why investors that are also looking ahead, because they're giving investment against the future, see that this also have a way of playing. That if Jai's bank that is only in non-interest, it's also making money, paying dividend. If this bank can combine their commercial and this, it will be yes, for investors, can see how can this impact the bottom line of this bank. But we can already see volume. That means people are taking advantage of of the low price of the stock below it. For me, it's a good one for Sterling. But for Geregu, all I just is that it's all profit taking. The stock dropped from around 149 naira to 139. It's all profit taking for the, and I believe also our eyes are on what on the result, because if the stock is around that price and the dividend is not commensurate to that price, it's bound to come down. But because of the shareholding structure, because it's in the full, the shares in one hand, price might become a bit stable, and that's another way to manage your price. Let me tell you that you must look at the company holding structure. What is the shareholding structure? If you see a company that has share everywhere, you can see that the price cannot move easily, because what the moves people want to dump. That's why before now, First Bank have been in that category that anytime it goes up, people say about since Standard came in, another people holding, you can see that there's a big stability in First Bank. That means as an investor, as you're taking decision, look at the company shareholding structure and the number of shares in issue is very, very important.
All right, that's interesting. Well, very quickly, let's have a look at your chart.
Yes, like me, I always don't draw my lines on my chart to always guide me. If you look at the lines here, they all call what we call it a bullish channel, which is looking up here. We see a downtrend line. The market broke it off here and continued uptrend. It came here, slowed down, then also it could break up. But on Monday, we saw that market was in a dive position, because that was the peak of another top, or call it top in technical analysis. At that point, market is looking at either a breakout or a pullback, which he did. But yesterday, on the help of Airtel, so that the market also broke up. The good thing is that look at the volume that also that broke the market out. Is it, a fake out or a real breakout we have seen? For me, today we'll confirm whether this is a real breakout. Well, if it's a real breakout, we want to see what continuation. If not, investors should also panic. If you pull back again, the market will gather more strength also to continue in the uptrend. If you look at the chart, I will tell you the market has formed what we call a V chart. You see a V chart in technical analysis. There's also a bullish sign that market is going somewhere. For me, there's no cause for alarm. But look at the volume. Volume is very, very important too. What is supporting this uptrend? Yes, you can see that volume is gradually coming out compared to when it was going up initially. There's no volume. But at this point now, we're seeing volume that because of the earnings season. I said that at that period of earnings season, you see more liquidity in the market, you see more sentiment, and also stock prices and disappointment also expected. But when you are in any season, the company can bring result that is surprise. People want to buy. Also, we can also slap you to another disappointing result that also your stock will start going down. That's why in this season, between now at end of the month, because we expect to see more of unaudited account for Q4, that will also shape the market. And I believe that if by God's grace next week, outcome of MPC will be a plus also to the market.
What's your expectation for the MPC? Yes,
for me, I don't see them increasing it. If people are saying me, I don't see them.
You don't see them increasing at all, or just by maybe 50 basis points?
I don't see one. It's either they go for flats, where it is, or just 25% if they want at all. Yeah, I don't see they're going 50 because all eyes are on matured market. Today, this morning, I saw the inflation figure from UK. We also saw a decline, and also on their common meeting for policy activities. For that, globally, we have seen both US everywhere. Rate is coming down. That's why when we saw I was surprised because I want to be different. Because if their rate is coming down, we know why it's coming down. But here we have seen a lot of. When
I saw the number, I remembered. I said, Ambrose said it would go up. I almost called you to tell you, but
yes, because if the period that we're having buying fuel of almost 400, 380, 350, and we're seeing inflation declining, and cost of transportation has increased because from here to Delta alone was about almost 15,000 naira.
When we come back, maybe. When we come back, we'll continue the
No problem at all.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us. Ambrose Omodio, Chief Research Officer, Investor Consulting, is still right here with us in the studio. Thanks for staying with us.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, before we went to that time out, you were still giving us some perspective.
To the MPC meeting, and also, like I told you that, for me, it was something else. But why I decided not to talk, but when I look at the month-to-month inflation, it's still maintaining an uptrend. And also, for year on year, if I feel a decline, it cooling down there, it slide down slightly. But if for year, that means fine. What to expect is because the month of December was the peak of what first growth. So to be high price pressure should also push back, but cooling down, but good that it's also coming down. Also, point that MPC also be looking at that. Kind of a decline in inflation. It doesn't mean that what they are doing, their policy is working. On that note, you can't go all the way to put another 100 basic point or 50 basic point.
Understand? To be aggressive, so it will,
no.
So more.
They know that the more you have a high interest rate, the more you are closing your economy because people don't have access to cheaper funds. Yeah. But when you have a low interest rate, people can expand, we can employ more, we can start to have 2 studios because we can have access to them, we employ more on Nigerians. But when the cost is high, people don't know from even borrowing because it will go a long way to affect them. For me, they understand that to manage the crisis, why anywhere in the world, the monetary policy meets every 2 months because they understand to tune the direction where the economy will be going. Now that we're seeing that little, and this is the first for the year, I don't see them increasing rate. Also, inflation, elections around the corner, and it does February here on 25th. The spending of this election, we have not seen much on the economy to say it changed because tell you that the policy of CBN coming to say limit of withdrawal and those stuff has a way of kind of lowering the vote buy. People are saying I'm not going to buy it, I'm going to cost it to me, I'm going to transfer the money to buy the vote. These are the things that we might see little part of this.
Some persons are saying we might see dollars flying around this time, just like the other time.
Okay, but I believe that the policy also has a direction. I think it will have a more impact on the economy. But like I was saying now, this is a daily chart I've shown you. But look at the weekly chart. That also give us another direction. On the weekly chart, we are still having that the same pattern we've seen on the first one on the daily chart. It tells that the market is very, very strong. This is also a V shape. We are seeing that market is also recovering. I believe that investors should not panic in the market. Market is above 50 days moving average, above 200 days moving average, and even above the T line. It tells you that market is good. No cost for alarm. Just hold your position. But I always say, don't
hold your position.
Hold your position if you are in a good point that's still going on. But hold your position and also learn how to take profit. And when I said to Monday, I was how to say Nigerians are learning now. Know how to take profit. Not do that because it's going up. When it comes, people want to sell. The good thing is that when market is going up, you are selling. You sell with confidence. But when everybody wants to sell, it's like, you know, we're in a party. They just off the music. Everybody want to go out. The door of that will be jam-packed. But when people are dancing, you are one away. Can okay, the door is free for you. Easily, yeah. You know, if the market everybody want to start at the same time, so that you know it become a problem. That's why as the market is going up, learn how to take profit before everybody see, oh, they sign that the market is going to do something that is not positive. Everybody want to go at the time. Who will pick each other soon?
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely. So, what are the expectations for today?
For me, I've seen a green start for this morning, and I've not seen much of the big cap, but the blue chip store like the what's called GT Code, Zenith Bank, and all the Fuga apart from LBN Holding are in green, but slight in green. If that can support the market, but I believe the market also should be in green at the end of the day. Or if people want to take profit, but I believe that since it just today is the mid trade of the week, expect that people still hold on until Friday before catching on that profit taking, because after that Friday we're looking at MPC meeting next week. People can also say let's wait till Friday because MPC is coming on Monday, Tuesday, and not sell on Friday. But today the market will maintain the uptrend.
All right, so final word for traders and investors.
Yes, like today, it is time for you to invest with knowledge, not just market, following bad wagon or allow the market to toast you up and down. You must invest with knowledge at this time, because that is really way you can take advantage of the market, especially as opposed to see a policy shift, from next administration that is coming in, because this one they have only just 4 months to stay, and being for me, election year. And a year that we expect to have two governments, to start, to be on seat. The one that is going on and one that is coming in. For that means, as an investor, follow all this because they have a way of shaping the market. Because the one that is coming in will come with policies, reforms will come, and that reform will also open opportunity in different. That's why I said everywhere that investment is against the future. Whatever the company have done before is not guaranteed that the company will do well tomorrow. But if you are seeing the prospect of that company, where it's going or where it's launching to, that this company is going somewhere cannot be bought. Not that because the company that paid you good dividend yesterday, that paid good dividend today. Unless you see the company is also going to where will support that payment before you can. But if the company is not expanding the way it did before, you have to verify that you must look at the prospect and the outlook of the company where you are, where they are going to the future is very, very important.
All right. Thank you so much, Ambrose Amodion.
Thanks for having me, Perpetua.
All right. Well, we've been speaking with Ambrose Amodion, the Chief Research Officer, Invest Data Consulting. When we come back, iBrand TV will take a look at the state of the economy ahead of the 2023 general elections as experts raise concern over fuel scarcity, rising subsidy bills, borrowing, among others. But that's our next talking point on the show. Stay with us. Don't go away.